It could be, it might be, it should be the worst virtue signal fail in the history of entertainment virtue signal fails. Folks, we're here to tell you that is really something. There are a lot of big ones, but never one quite this big. Dragon Age the Veilguard is so cringeworthy, so terrible, so vomit-inducing, maybe hide the evidence. Today we'll show you what's going on with the latest video game disaster. It's coming from the crafters of a video game industry collapse. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yet again, we are joined together as friends here on the Pro Channel, ready to bring you the information you just need to know. Today, we're talking about the latest in DEI disasters for the gaming industry. They are collapsing faster than you can possibly even name the studios that are closing. And all of it seems to be from the hosing that these DEI consultants are doing to these poor studios who were ever so happy to go along with it back when propaganda was all kinds of cool. Today, not the same, and guess what? They are being schooled. Click the like button, folks. We'll tell you what's going on. It is the most cringeworthy clip you're likely to see on the internet today. Bioware allegedly scrambles to remove gameplay footage of Dragon Age the Veilguard Virtue Cringe. What are we talking about? Well, we're going to play it. We're going to take the chance. Going to take our chance. Here we go. Propaganda in our entertainment has become a real problem, and it's one the video game industry is just beginning to suffer under fully. After the events of 2020, many major game companies committed to bringing on consultation companies that were supposed to help them diversify their storytelling. Instead, games of today, now having been in development often since before the pandemic, tend to look more like educational courses and divisive ideas than sources of universal entertainment. And guess what? This latest Dragon Age is, well, example numero uno. Folks, I also want to tell you, there's been a lot of misinformation out there, intentional, unintentional, when it comes to this game. For example, we've been carefully monitoring a story regarding what it was that reviewers were allowed to or not allowed to say about Dragon Age, the contract that was alleged to have been sent out to them to get early access. And what I can tell you is we are extraordinarily cautious in making sure that we give you the most accurate information we can. I don't think you really have to go much further than this clip we're about to show you. It's from the game. It's fair use. It's gameplay. We're going to play it so that you can understand just how propagandistic this is. So here's what it says. Still, as much as it has pained us to see the gaming industry damaged by losses such as Concord, Star Wars Outlaws, Dustborn, and more, we've reached a new level of awful with Dragon Age the Veilguard. According to a veteran gaming developer, the situation is so bad that Bioware is allegedly attempting to have certain gameplay sequences struckified from the internet. And what is that clip? Well, it's this one, folks, where the main character is going to use the wrong pronoun and then, in a fantasy setting, is going to pay penance for doing so. Here's the clip.
Holding that snake's nose, she's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties. I was so proud.
Oh,
They're still holding it. Sorry.
what are you doing?
Pulling a barb.
Oh, okay. A barb?
Tradition in the Lords of Fortune from one of our old members, Barb.
I want to congratulate the writers real quick, guys. When you come up with the name for your virtue signal penance, I want to congratulate them on coming up with a word that is almost identical to the word barf. That's really great. I mean, the genius that these people must have, the absolute genius. We'll continue.
Good guy, but like most of us, his plans went sideways a lot. Bad blood among your crew's not good for morale, but there's not always time for big, drawn-out apologies. So when one of us screws up and we know we've screwed up, we do a quick 10 to put it right. Pulling a barb.
Well, isn't that ableist?
Wow.
Wait, there's no time for apologies, but there's time to drop and give me 20?
Which is really part of a fantasy thing. I'm just so glad they've inserted Pilates into this game.
I feel like this outfit doesn't fit either. Can we critique the fashion choice here?
I think we can definitely critique the fashion choice.
Yeah, like octopus hand, or what do you call them, tentacles around her shoulders, and a pirate
I believe
hat.
she's a pirate. Yeah, I believe she's a pirate. I'm not
she's
sure
a pirate who dresses sort of like a Mayan at a spirit Halloween store.
Yeah, notwithstanding the fact notwithstanding the fact that I've put a garden hose washer as a septum ring, in my nose, I'm not like, what's with the facial hardware? Again, you know what? Az has really nailed it with that one famous rant where everything has to be modern day. It's tiresome.
Yes, there's no escapism. We're to the point now where we've got a female character doing 10 push-ups in heavy, sort of weird armor and feathered headdress to make amends for using the wrong pronoun for a character who doesn't appear to even be on screen. Let's play just a bit more.
I'm going to point out, no, it was one of the characters that was there.
The horny one.
She also,
wait a minute.
Her exclamation was
horns?
"Maker's panties" was the exclamation there.
Yes, Maker's panties.
That is such. I mean, I think they're trying at being debaucherous, but it's so lame. It's cringe, as the kids would say.
Nothing like that has ever been said in Dragon Age before. I played the 3 previous games. Nobody's ever said Maker's panties before. It's usually Maker's breath.
Let's play a little bit more of it. We'll see what we've got. Here we go.
I'm glad the Lords of Fortune have Tarsh's back.
Oh, Tarsh isn't the first non-binary member of the Lords.
Really?
It was a little before your time, but Horlicks was one of ours.
Huh.
Looked better than I did in a dress or pants. And out of them, too.
Oh, boy. Any reason you can't just apologize?
Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it. But they just want to get the whole thing over with. Trust me, I know.
So 10 push-ups though. That's better. 10
Well,
push-ups.
I couldn't see the conversation wheel because we're all covering it. But is there an option to be like, that's dumb? Because in other Bioware games, there would have been an option to be like, that's dumb.
Oh, don't worry. This is going to get even better. Hang on.
Pulling a barf, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
What if they mean it when they say they're sorry, though?
Flagellating whips. Now.
And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic.
This literally is like she's reading from the cue cards of a gender equity study class.
Make it about them. Oh, I didn't mean it right. I'd never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else.
Why is this a
to smooth
sequence
it
in
over
the
and make
game?
them feel better.
That's a great question.
Oh, okay. Yes, some people might do that.
I love the lip.
Pulling a
syncs.
bar.
Wait. Stop for a second.
They made the mess. They fix it. Done.
Everyone's mouths were like moving like at least generally along with theirs until you got to the Asian. I'm not kidding. I don't know if you noticed that, but
the Asian has magical superpowers of. But here's it's not in this clip. Selecting the most progressive answers also gives your character a reward, and it'll pop up on the left side of the screen where it says, like, you have increased your multicultural recognition stats or whatever, like it pops up. Vash, do you have that? Can you
So they have a social credit
I don't.
score
I can get
game?
some other clips though.
Okay.
But I really need to say that they have a social credit score within Dragon Age Veilguard.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I think it's genius.
Well, think about how dumb that conversation is. By the way, well, we're gonna pull a bar because you know what? All these other people, they make it about themselves. Even though I make it about myself for like 5 minutes in this whole conversation, talking about how great a barv is as compared to other things. I mean, it is wildly stupid. This is so dumb. Even the fundamental premise doesn't actually make sense.
And in addition to that, she's self-flagellating because she made this remark about a off-screen character.
Well,
She's
Jonah
not even prostrating herself in front of the character that she has misgendered. It's an off-screen character, so she has to pull a G.I. Joe thing and show number one, she's a tough broad that can do push-ups.
However, that's showing initiative. So let's think about this for a second. These people are not known for showing initiative. So, therefore, we're seeing a little bit of merit. Therefore, she's elevated herself. However, because she's elevated herself, now she needs to probably do more barbs because of the fact that she's now like realizing now she can actually do the push-ups, whereas most of her friends probably can't. So,
well, this is proof positive, Wilton, that this will not have any positive influence on anybody because the people who would actually consider doing the barv are also the least likely physically to be capable of doing barvs.
You know how jacked I'd be if I was her?
Let's see your
one thing I
real
wanted
quick.
to clarify here. Looking at the dialogue options, Tosh is the person that's being offended here, but seems to be fine with everything. And
Tosh
if you
is
look at
the
those dialogue
gray
options,
horny girl, right?
they're literally asking that person if they're good here in the dialogue options. There's also what is it, self-experience or self-improvement and exercise is one of the options here as well. So they're asking for this person to have permission to be forgiven of their social sins.
Grammatical faux pas. Michelle is someone who has advanced degrees in things that often deal with ethics and philosophy. Michelle, could you tell us your thoughts on this and how it might impact gaming going forward? Will this be a turnoff, you think, to many people?
Yeah, well, I don't really know anything about this game. I've seen this floating around, so I can't speak that much to it. But from what I've seen, yes, it's going to turn people off. It's not going to be a crowd favorite. We'll say it that way.
All right, Vash has apparently something else that's going to offend us very good. Vash, what is this you've got? Give us a taste of it before we play it.
Yeah, so this is a scene in which two characters show romantic interest in each other, and it is the cringiest thing I've ever seen. I mean, this puts the other clip to shame, in my opinion. But we can go over it right now.
I can't even imagine.
Whatever's out there, we'll face it together, I promise. Together.
I could kiss you right now. I'm going to kiss you right now.
Where's the consent?
Well, fill out the forms first.
Oh no, not the tongue.
Intimacy coordinator.
You make the world spin, Lace Harding.
Brooke! Delirium. It's like I'm infused with delirium.
I
Wait, is
noticed
she a
it when we
dwarf?
touched that
Yes.
night when we
Okay.
talked about your dreams.
You knew? You knew, and you still kissed me?
Wow, I feel drunk.
Yeah, it's because I turned your head into mush.
Or it's love.
You boob! This is not funny! Okay, I'll fix it. I promise. I will find a way and I will fix it. Okay?
This is weird. This is incredibly weird.
Don't touch me.
Please listen.
Wow.
So bad. It's
Someone
so
got paid
bad.
to make this, guys. Don't critique it.
Was this an Ozembic marketing insert?
And that's what we just watched. All right, so
Oh my
BioWare is in for a big heap of trouble. The gaming industry is not having a good year. Culture, is that fair to say? This is not going well for gaming whatsoever, and this might be the coup de grace.
Well, young Squire, I will say that this is the coup de grace for some studios. We have now ticked up over 13 over my my guesstimate of 9 studios that would be shutting their doors. We had 2 in one day from the same company. Firewalk is no more, as is Neon Koi, apparently, which was Savage Games before that. So, look, this is probably one of the worst years in gaming we've ever seen, and that's saying something.
We're
you had
on
a
a
string of
level bad
commercial failures that just seemed to never end, and we've been covering them very aggressively over on That Gameplays. So Jonas is our crack researcher over there, and I'm sure I'm underestimating the number of studios that we've lost in total, but of significant studios.
The question becomes whether or not they're closed, or whether or not they fired most of the staff, or if that staff has then been dispersed. These large studios, all they want is the IP more than anything else, because they will slap that name on anything that resembles the product. When we're looking at something like this, they've taken. I've never played. I played one Dragon Age game. I played Origins for just a little bit, but I was occupied with other things. But everyone I know who played that game loves that game more so than Mass Effect. And
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, okay.
You just hate Mass Effect.
I'm not a fan of Mass Effect. That's okay. It's it's fine.
Facial animations. Here we go again.
Anyways, we don't need to talk too long about that. The point that I'm trying to make, Mass Effect 5 is still on the horizon, and the guy who is in charge of Mass Effect 5 is already talking about how it will not have the same style as this game. He is making it clear without throwing his colleagues under the bus that they're going a different direction. They're going a more realistic direction for Mass Effect 5. So
does that apply to the animation quality?
Yeah.
The question
I would
is,
assume so, because this
the
is
question
bad.
is when it comes to Mass Effect is will they actually like deviate from the terrible path they established with the Andromeda game? Because people want it to return to form of the first 2.5 games. And if it doesn't, and if it dives too deeply into this gaslighting the world narrative that they try to insert into everything now, they're making another game destined to fail.
There were many things wrong with Andromeda. Lots of things.
Like Kevin Sorbo.
So let me direct the conversation in this way, just real quick. I think that perhaps one of the biggest losers in all of this is going to be the review class, right? The gaming journalists, because they've lost total credibility. This game is getting rave reviews, but then again, so have all the other games that have failed so drastically. And I think all the credibility's gone now.
Well, you're actually even underlining the problem is the coercion between the quote unquote mainstream game reviewer and the studios themselves and the publications that, you know, put these people up in the forefront are all being exposed for the fact that they're unreliable, very biased contributors in the space. So the people that did not get games review codes should be something we should be paying attention to, and is being paid attention to on publications like that Park Place. So congratulations to y'all over there.
And hopefully that game plays very soon. And Marvin, are you going to be playing the game to get a review out?
Yes, I purchased the game. I was going to start playing it at midnight last night when it was supposed to come out, but it did not come out. It did. Yes, it is not.
No, I assure you, this game did come out.
It is such fun getting to spend time together, folks, but we have come to the end of yet another video, well, that makes the mainstream scratch their heads, pull their hair out, and wonder, how is it we continue to do what we do? But you know what we do this for? It's for you. To keep bringing all the knowledge of entertainment, explaining what's going on in Hollyweird each and every day. And you can help us continue on that way by clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. Share this out on your favorite social media platforms, and we would love to have you drop a comment right on down below. Share your thoughts because, well, your thoughts truly do matter, and we mean it. As we get ready to say goodbye, we end with the common refrain. Folks, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.